So it's a lot of fun. We have a good time. Before you leave, if you got the time, I want to walk you upstairs and let you see our work environment.
Okay.
And you'll see a lot of really cool people just having fun making stuff happen. And it's really, what's nice about it is our workforce, they feel very empowered. They feel very good about doing what they need to do to get the job done. So we don't really have any bosses. There's no like corner offices. There's none of that crap going on. We're kind of anti-hierarchy. And you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
No structure, it's just like everybody working hard. If somebody shows up with an idea, we execute the idea. If somebody shows up with this thought or process, they pull people together, we'll exercise the ability to get that done. So that way you get the gratification of knowing, hey, these are the things that I enjoy doing. Let me see how I explode it out into something real.
Yeah.
So yeah, however we want to work it out. And this is the way I roll. Okay, you're more than welcome to come. Help me set up what that program looks like. You'd be part of that.
Okay.
Right? It's like, great, this is the way it works in sort of non-innovative places. I have to come in and do my internship. Okay, great. Well, here's the way it works. Hey, got 4 or 5 guys together. We want to come over. We want to spend 2 weeks. This is what we want to hopefully get out of it. Is that possible? That's how it starts. So what did I do? I put it back on you to make it be something.
Yeah.
Right? That way you don't show up just waiting for me to say, all right, here's what we're going to do. No, I want you to be part of that.
Yeah.
Because if I just give you what I think you want, it may not be exactly what you want.
Okay.
So that's the fun of it.
Is there somebody we should contact with that plan?
There's a woman named Linda Fisher, but you could also, Ryan is a good contact, so make sure you have his email before you leave. Yeah, because Ryan's kind of, what we're trying to do is connect education to industry. And see, I love the energy right here, right now, actually. We could have a lot of fun talking about a lot of cool stuff. And we got these great videos we can show you. We've got all kinds of things happening. So this whole innovative thing, and the way you guys could contribute to that, I'd love to explore that.
Yeah.
It could be a lot of fun. And wait till you see what we got going on over here. Wait till we get our STEM center set up. And we'll have the 3D printers and the laser cutters and robotics and esports. We're looking at this really cool virtual reality igloo thing that we're talking about buying. We might even bring in a virtual reality golf setup.
That sounds really fun for an office space.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic, right? But that's the beauty of it. We can conduct our own what we want to do. Nobody's telling us what we have to do.
Yeah.
Now, we know what we have to do to be successful. And I'll spell all that out for you. There's the work part. But then there's also that, what I always say, the 20% factor. 20% of everything we do should be thinking about the future. And trust me when I tell you, that idea of visualizing, it makes sense, right? You become that what you think about? Think about it.
I think so. Yeah. Law of attraction.
The law of attraction. Have you read that, The Secret?
No.
Okay, well, there's a whole big thing about the law of attraction.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. And by the way, I buy into that. I'm 40 years in. I completely buy into that. Some people may look at it as a little hokey, maybe, but I don't.
It's definitely true in the negative way. Like, if you believe you're sick, you're going to stay sick.
Yes.
Something like that.
I totally agree with that. Yeah, good for you. Good for you. But you seem like a great group of people, and I'm really encouraged. Now, is this something you guys volunteer to do or be part of this, or is it a course that you select?
It's an elective.
Yeah, so most people chose it. Some just chose it because they needed something to do. Some
needed credit.
Some knew what it was beforehand. But at this point, we're all in it.
Okay.
We're all in it to win it.
Good. That's good to hear. Because you know what I do see, and I said it in my talk, a lot of people just don't know what they want to do, even after college. I was talking, we had an intern sophomore year at Temple. I said, so Travis, what are you thinking? I still don't know. I said, well, how much time do you spend trying to figure out what you want to do? And just stared at me. So I don't know, I mean that sincerely. How much time do you guys spend thinking about it? What are you doing to exercise your mind and go deeper with some of the professional opportunities that exist out there? Somebody here want to be a doctor? Does somebody here want to be an engineer? Does somebody here want to be a media artist? Does somebody here want to be a sales guy? Does somebody here want to be computer science?
I think about it every day.
Good for you.
But I know there's so many opportunities out there, like regarding entrepreneurship. So I just don't know exactly what aspect I'm going to do yet.
Well, sometimes, if you can find a specific industry, that's good. But I think what you're all doing, which I think is phenomenal, is learn what the art of entrepreneurship is. And then, understand what that truly means. Now, keep in mind, not everybody's born to be an entrepreneur. There's leaders and there's followers. Entrepreneurs can have great ideas, and that's a big part of it, but what's the implementation part of it, and what's that involved? So Steve Jobs, who we all know who he was nothing without Wozniak. You know what I mean? So there's always a yin and a yang. And I think that's also part of figuring out some of these areas of right, where am I falling down a little bit with my capabilities, and a lot of your hierarchical, I'm important, I'm in the corner office types, they think, I don't need anybody, and that's the beginning of the end for a lot of the businesses we've seen fail. Toys R Us, and, Blockbuster, and we could go on and on. I know it was a heartbreak, but they could have saved Toys R Us. Let me give you an entrepreneurial way they could have saved it. Anybody have an idea what Toys R Us could have done?
Focus on experience instead of on selling toys.
Amen. And what would have been a great thing for Toys R Us to do with relationship to the experience?
I mean, doing something like this where they can play with the toys in the place. Or
He's on it. He's on it. If they had devoted 3,000 square feet in the corner of their spaces, it would have and created a club, which would have been automatic every month revenue, because it would have been, let's say, $10 a month. The real deal, though, is they're coming in and they're playing with the stuff they can buy on the way out. What do you think the parents are doing? They're spending money hand over fist to get their kids filled up with the STEM toys and the different things that they're experiencing. They blew it. They had all the real estate paid for. They had everything they needed. All they had to do was find a couple thousand square feet in the store to create a whole new reason to come to Toys R Us. You're on it. Make sure you intern with us. Now, are we supposed to be somewhere doing something? Or are we sort of doing it? Okay. All right. So, what questions would you guys have? When you're sitting here thinking about your future, what are the things you wrestle with, trying to figure out things?
I mean, it's a lot. I guess. For my future, I think I want to study math in college, but that's about as far as I've gotten.
Okay.
I'm feeling the same way. Yeah.
We had a career fair the other day, or last week, and out of it, I think working at NASA seemed really cool. Kind of, space-related stuff.
There, yeah.
Okay.
Those are my leads so far. For my project for this class, I'm working on a mural because I like art a lot. So,
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
yeah, so I'm not sure how to combine my interests into a career path.
Okay. Anybody going down the marketing path?
I was thinking of that for a
Okay.
while.
Yeah.
And marketing is going to continue to transform and transform and transform. So it's a good basis by which, and art, by the way, having an art background or a love for art is a good thing in the world of marketing.
Yeah.
So, you want to explore that, and that's where you can use your creative juices to sort of put a different face out into the marketplace.
Yeah.
What's that look like 5 years from now? Who knows what the best marketing employees will be 5 years from now?
Probably different.
Yeah. Well, we can be sure of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else? Anybody else thinking about?
For me, not even related to that, but I want to be an esports shoutcaster, which is why I was so excited to come here and talk to Ryan.
Okay.
But this thing I'm struggling with is how do you get experience in something that only hires people who have experience? Because
Well, that's always the hardest part, and that's why I never say that, and I don't even call them interviews anymore. You know what I call it when people come in to, maybe apply for a job? We're going to have a conversation. Because, see, in the old days, it was by the grace of God, I give you a job. Well, now it's like you're all sitting there saying, by the grace of God, I'm coming to work for you, dude. Are you kidding me? Your place is Cubicle City. It looks like it's from the 1990s, and what the heck, man? This is not inspiring at all, right? That's what you're all thinking. And the old suits, they still sit there in the corner office like, I may give you a job. So, here's how you do it. You find things like, for example, you connect with people, right? The most important thing, like this guy Ryan that is with us, right? Connect with him, because we're going to do it here. So now all of a sudden you come in here and you start practicing. Then you got our video team. We've got our own video team. We do you a little, 60-second tape of you doing exactly what you want to do. And now you got like a professional thing you can send around and say, look, that's how you get experience. You give your services away initially. Give it away. And figure out, you can do some mock sports right?
yeah, sure.
So, and then how do you stick out? So yeah, if you don't have the experience, you got to be heard somehow. You control that. Find somebody with a camera, get on and do your mock-ups.
That's what I've been saying.
But you want to, learn how to promote yourself. Make connections. Make connections. You want to make connections with everybody. And by the way, push up. There's really good people that are twice your age that will be happy to talk to you and help. You ever drive along the road, somebody's in an accident, what happens? Everybody stops to see if they can help, right? The majority of people in this world want to help other people. The majority. There's some that don't. There's some that drive right by. But most people will stop to try to help. So you want to connect with people that are in industries that you want to know more about. You want to connect with people that can give you some insight, because most people want to pay it forward. But you got to tap that. It's work. You got to work at what your career path looks like. You got to work at the connections that you make. You got to work at really thinking through the areas that you're good at and that you want to highlight and do better at. Or know the areas where you're not that good. Figure out, all right, what's it take for me to hone my skills in this particular area? See, the biggest mistake that everybody makes, and hear me loud and clear on this, here's the biggest mistake everybody makes. You tend to think that you don't control your own destiny. Even at your ages. Oh, my parents control my destiny, my teachers control my destiny, my friends, whatever it is. But you each control your own destiny, and I think if you take deep stock in that, and you really understand that you control your own destiny, it's like I said, all business is show business. What are you putting off every day? How are you reacting with your teachers? How are you manipulating the system? And I say that sometimes in a good way. You learn how to be master manipulators, and like I say, not in a deceptive way, but in a way that's
a productive.
It's a productive way. It's helping you get what you want, assuming you all want something good.
Yeah.
Right? You want something good, whatever it's going to be. But it's it's really what you want to put into it. Like I always say, if you want to lose weight, there's specific ways that you lose weight. And certainly we know exercise and eating properly is going to do it for you. It's pretty simple stuff. Well, guess what? Finding your career path is the same thing. Instead of losing or eating properly and exercising, in this case, it's research. It's studying the living heck out of what's available out there for your futures. It's spending time reading books and looking at books, listening to podcasts, seeing who gets you going. Everybody know who Simon Sinek is?
I've definitely heard.
Okay, so Simon Sinek, remember this, he puts out a whole bunch of TED Talks. And there's one that you want to listen to, it's called The Why. Why people do what they do. So you tap into him, learn from him. But here's what I always look at. If you all do some of these things I'm talking about, you're in the top 5%. Because the majority of kids your age wouldn't even be here. So you're already one step ahead. But it's what you make it. You can leave here and just, I filled a class requirement, and it's done. Or, Simon Sinek, you got it down?
Yep, got it.
So when you listen to some of his talks, spread it around. I mean, whatever little sanctum that you guys have.
Okay.
Create a little fraternity of, all right, what's our future look like? Create something.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so it's all about visualizing, doing the things that you want to do, and seeing how that fits into careers with research.
Exactly.
Okay.
And by the way, the research
out there.
the research part will help you visualize. Like, it's hard sometimes, you just show up with your life's experience right now. It's hard to visualize things that you don't know about yet.
Yeah.
And
You
that's
ready?
why, where are we going?
For us over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate your interest. It's good to see you. Get me motivated.
That was cool.
Let's get some chairs over here.
What do you think, Dylan? I thought that was magnificent.